I was late getting here. This is entirely my fault. Don't blame anybody else. Oh no, where'd Larry go?
Oh, his internet's been weird.
Yeah.
He keeps having to fix it.
Yeah. So Ben, how are you?
It's exam week. So,
Oh, you're lovely then.
yep.
Yep.
This is okay, so this test the one this Friday will be exam number, well, not even including all of like the OSCEs I've had, but just written exam number 127 of medical school.
Oh. Hey, you guys. Bino Just Be is live on Twitch.
Whoa, I just got that too. Just got that.
So I had, speaking of trans stuff, I had an interesting thing happen about 2 or 3 weeks ago. This patient came in and went to sign some paperwork and blah blah blah, and we were talking for a minute, and I was teasing because the guys come in with their facial hair, and I go, man, I want that, which is growing back in now. It's starting to feel good again. So I said, man, I wish I had that facial hair. And he was like, oh yeah. And I said, yeah. I said, well, I'm transitioning, so I really want it. So mind you, while I was talking to this guy, he package checked me twice. And I totally noticed it. But it was funny. I don't care. Whatever, right? He was just kind of like, huh. So he came in today and he goes, he says, hey, can I talk to you for a second? It's personal. And I was like, sure, man, what's up? So he took me aside and he said, you're always like really cool and honest. And he said, I have lots of friends in the, in the gay community, a lot of gay people I know. And I said, right. And he said, and I always kind of pick their brains because I want to learn more. And he said, what do you think we have coffee and so I can ask you questions and stuff so I can learn more? And I said, hell yeah, man. I'm all about it. So we're going to have coffee this Saturday around noon. And yeah. So, because he wants to, and I say, hey, if you want to advocate for us, I will tell you, we'll talk about whatever. So yeah, he's a really nice guy. He's like, I don't know, 68, 70 years old, it's an old white dude, and he's pretty cool. So yeah, so that's cool. It's nice to bump into people that care enough to ask, so
definitely.
it's good. Definitely. Shit. Yeah. Larry.
Hello. What's up?
How are you, sunshine?
My internet is still being ass.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. That's okay. I was late, so it's fine. Yeah. I was sitting there trying to set everything up. I'm going, God damn it, fucking shit. God damn it.
Yeah. Well, so I may be actually like getting a real place to live soon. So like once I have my own address, I can get my own actual internet connection. Because right now we're just working off of one of those stupid little mobile hotspot thingies. So.
Oh yeah. You can't even use that where I live. You can't use a mobile hotspot because the mobile has no freaking connection out there. Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh yeah, because
you have to have like internet.
To bounce it off of. Yeah.
Right.
These just kind of steal bandwidth from everybody else around you who has real internet.
Yeah, my landlord has a satellite system, and he created like a mesh on the property so that almost his entire property has Wi-Fi. And it's such a good system, but there's so many people using that one router that's why my internet goes to shit at my house it's always like 10 till 9. I think that's when they start streaming next door.
Justin's family, some of his family lives down in Brown County, Indiana, right by the state park. And so it's one of those towns. It's like a stop sign on a blacktop kind of affair. And so they literally have their own radio tower in the backyard.
Nice.
Because if they didn't have that, then they couldn't have cell service or anything.
Right. Yeah, this is it looks like a satellite dish, but it's actually radio internet. And oh my God, it works so good. Like when they have everything off, my upload is like around 20 and my downloads at like 40 or 60 or something. But as soon as everybody gets online at night, my shit is done. It just sucks too much of it up. So, but it's only like this guy, my landlord pays like $40 a month. So I'm thinking about just calling them and getting my own, just putting my own in my house. I mean, fuck it. Why not? I can use it anywhere, anywhere in this area. So anyways, that's not why we're here. So, there's Ox, just so you know, there's an E instead of an I, but besides that, you had it spelled right. So good job. Usually we get ISONs like Madison. Yeah, JR, you should check out my brother if you want to see me with a furry face. He's got a beard down to his
basically,
belly.
Yeah. They look almost exactly the same except for the beard.
We have different noses. I have my dad's nose and he's got mom's. It took me a long, like I didn't even realize it till recently because I never really looked at my brother, like, who do you look like? You know what I mean? And then I looked at him the other day and I said, it's just the nose. I said, you got mom's nose, I got dad's. And he says, yeah.
I think Beck smiles a little bit more too.
Oh, yeah, he's very serious. Well, he's normally very jovial and always smiling. It's just when he starts talking about
when he's on camera, he's got that straight, serious face.
Oh, he's so into it, man. He's so like 100% heart and soul into it that it's just like he's serious. You still have that pic, Ox? Hold on, I got pics too. I'll show you guys a picture. Just so
I've noticed that the longer I've been on T, the more I look like my brother. It's like really, really weird. Like we had a little bit of a resemblance already, but especially as like the facial hair has started to come in, and I think like the shape of my nose, like either my nose is getting bigger or it's like, I don't know, something is happening to my face. But like every day I look more like him.
How long have you been on T now?
A little over 2 years. 2 years.
Oh, have you? Wow. Mm-hmm. I'm so jealous. I can't wait to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm verging on 6 months, which means Ben should be right about at 8.
Right about at 8. Yep.
Yeah. Because he's like 2 months and a week or two ahead of me. Yeah. I got some. I'm trying to find my beard pictures in here. So Ben was like, download this face app and you can play with the beards and just use it as a trial and discontinue it. And I forgot because I'm ADD. Yeah. So I spent $30 on this fucking app.
Oh, good.
Totally by accident. So, okay, you guys.
I don't look 15, JR. Stop picking on me for looking young.
There you go. That's me with the Richard beard, but trimmed.
I had the same kind of thing where, when people started reading me as a guy, they assumed I was a fetus. But then, like, as soon as the beard came in, it was like, oh, you're 35, right? I'm like, no.
I was thinking that would look good on me, like a close trimmed. I'll just have to dye it
because you look. No, that beard looks like a youth pastor. That's the youth pastor beard.
This one, it's the same beard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you look like a youth pastor. All you need is like a plaid button down, and there you go, youth pastor.
No, this is the one you guys told me I look like a pedophile.
That's also youth pastor. They're both youth pastor, but the hat makes it a little bit less youth pastor.
I'm concerned.
Youth pastor, pedophile, same thing.
Yeah,
here you go. Here's the one that Ox did.
That's
where he put Richard's beard on me.
That's Richard. Yeah, it looks just like Richard. That's Richard.
Ox sent that to me. I had to save it.
As validating as that would be, I would never want to have that much facial hair. That just seems like it's like you're walking around with like a 4-pound dog glued to your face.
Dude, I want like thick facial hair so bad. I don't know if I don't want the
lumberjack beard.
The whole beard thing, I'm really not into that. I'm more thinking the mustache, goatee, let the sideburns grow down to the jawline. That's what I'm working on. I just shaved this part and then under my chin. on my jaw.
Well, the only reason that I keep this as long as it is because it is all like patchy. So like when it's a little bit long like that, it looks like it actually covers the area. But if I were to trim it shorter, you could see all these big bald patches in here. So I think once it starts coming in thicker, once it starts coming in more places, I would want to keep it trimmed short, like that first picture you had.
Yeah, yeah.
But for right now, this is the only way I can have it where it looks okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a lot of down here. I have to shave this every day. Like I shaved it this morning and it's huge stubble going on. All like this whole area here is big like that. My sideburns, because you remember I told you guys I had that surgery and everything, the hair on my left side grows in slower. It's doing it on my face too. It's not just my legs and armpit hair and stuff. Like this side of my left, this is my left side. It's just reversed. My left side of my sideburns and stuff is way thinner. This one's coming in thicker. So,
okay, but let me address.
Exact same thing happen.
Go.
Let me address again, JR. It's not because like I get that you're older and everyone looks young to you, but the problem is constantly pointing out something that makes me dysphoric is not cool. Like, I get that people want to say that I'm young, and a lot of people think it's a compliment, but it is something that makes me dysphoric. So that's why it's a problem for me.
Yeah. Everybody, please recognize each other's shit, and let's tread lightly, right?
It's like dysphoria is very real, and it can put you into a depressive state of mind for a long time.
Dr. Cross said,
and you're not
handle all these cute
you're not
trans dudes
alone
talking about
on
how
that,
much hotter
Ben.
they are going to look.
Yeah. But you're not alone in that, Ben. That's a hot button issue for lots of trans people.
Yeah.
So like that's something for especially the cis people in the chat to just be aware of, because it's it seems funny if you only say it once, but understand that when you hear it over and over and over again from all these different people, it becomes more grating and it makes you feel more insecure about yourself.
Yeah,
like
especially when
it's that a lot, and it drove me up the fucking wall.
And when it's something about your body that you're trying so hard to change that you had no say in, that makes you feel like you're still being clocked as a woman. Yes. Like, because you're even no matter how far along in your transition you are, there's still that fear in the back of your mind of, are these people clocking me? Are they like, am I gonna be outed in this situation? Yeah. And it's a real fear that a lot of us have. And so like little things like that can be dangerous to an extent, and it can make us really hate ourselves for a long time.
And it's true. Especially as it comes with, like, we were talking about the facial hair, like that fear of getting clocked comes for a lot of people from real world experience. Like I've been assaulted in public before because I was clocked as trans, and that's really not okay here, even though this is a liberal city. So like I didn't feel comfortable going out and using male spaces until I could grow this because of that fear of being clocked.
Yeah. The facial hair. That's the thing, like we joke around and stuff about it, but for a trans guy, having facial hair is the biggest thing, because it is the one thing that everybody looks at when they see you. And if you don't have facial hair and you have a more feminine face, or, I mean, luckily none of us have like really girly feminine faces, but a lot of trans guys do. And then they're stuck with that until they grow facial hair. And it's hard, man. It really is.
Yeah.
Like that's the big, like, it was so hard for me to shave this off to try to get it to grow in darker. I can't even tell you. Like I stood there with the razor, like, fuck, I don't want to do it. Oh, I want it to grow in darker though. I don't want to do it. And I stood there for a good, like 10 minutes to hold the razor in my hand. And I was like, fuck, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. It'll fucking grow back. But it was hard for me to shave it off. It really was.
It's just fucking work.
So yeah, it's definitely a big thing.
Yeah, purple.
Seriously, purple? What is wrong with people, man?
Male culture, it's something else.
Toxic.
It's so toxic and insecure. Yeah. Like the fact that you have to get on other guys' case for something so benign. Like, how insecure do you have to be in yourself to get mad over someone else's lack of chest hair.
Yeah, they were probably
Like,
just
what does that
jealous
have to
because
do
they
with
felt
you?
purple
Has
without their
nothing to
pants
do with
on.
you. Leave it alone.
Yeah, no, really. I don't even understand that anyways. Why does everybody have to get their nose in everybody else's shit? You know, I don't
Right.
walk up to straight people and go, "Ooh, you shouldn't kiss in public." You know, "Ooh, that's gross. A child might be watching." You know, like who the fuck cares? Just live your life, do your thing, and leave everybody else alone if you don't like it.
Yeah,
That's
like
all.
I mean, it's like in your body does a thing, and somehow that's all your responsibility. Like, I'm gonna go up to everyone I meet in public and be like, "Do you have high blood pressure? I think you have high blood pressure. Why won't you be honest and just tell me that you have high blood pressure?" Like, it's none of my damn business what your blood pressure is.
You do, don't
But
you? I
that's
know
like,
you do.
but that's like what people do to trans people. They're like, "I know it's in your pants. Like,
Yeah,
have you
yeah.
had the
Yeah, yeah.
surgery? Are you on the hormones?" Like, I'm not going to talk to you about your, like, I'm not going to ask everybody I meet if they're diabetic. I'm not going to ask everybody I know if they have hypertension. I'm not going to ask everybody I know about their surgical history. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
you
did you have
shave,
an
don't you? You
appendectomy?
shave
Did
down
you
there,
have your
don't you? I can
appendix
tell by
removed?
looking at you.
I just have the suspicion that your appendix was removed at one point, and I just really need to know.
Your appendix
You know
was
what?
removed, wasn't it?
The next time you're in a relationship, like, I just don't want people to be dishonest with me, and I feel like withholding information is dishonest. So
Yes.
when I go on my first date, I'm going to need you to tell me if your appendix is still in your body or not, because that influences how attracted to you I am. Like, I'm only attracted to people with an appendix, an intact
Yeah, absolutely.
appendix.
If you don't have an appendix, or like
It's
if
over.
your
We're done.
gallbladders are you taking out adenoids? No adenoids.
Oh, that's
Nope,
that's
not
even
turned on by
worse.
you.
Yeah, no, you have
Not
to have a
turned on by
gallbladder.
you.
If your gallbladder's out, nope, sorry, bye. You're done.
Which half the people in the
Like-
world have their gallbladder removed.
Right? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, what if I just have what if I'm not, you know, I'm not cholecystectomy phobic, but like what if I just have an intrinsic attraction? I can't help my attraction, but I'm just
I
attracted
can't
to
help my
people
attraction. I like
with
people with
gallbladders.
He's killing me, babe. He's only asking people what's in their pants. I don't go, "Do you have your appendix?" Because I'm only attracted to people who have an appendix. Yeah, what about your wisdom teeth? There you go. There's one, Ben.
Yeah.
You don't have your wisdom teeth. Can't do it.
And yeah, you can't just show me like what teeth I need to see them x-rays. I have to know for sure.
Yeah, I need the
you
X-rays.
got them
Yes,
removed.
just to make sure. Yes.
Yeah.
If it be in your pants, well, right now boxers, but normally I wear boxer briefs. Today I'm wearing boxer briefs.
It's ridiculous.
Tomorrow will be boxers. I like the striped plaid ones.
Yeah, you could do that on
Yeah,
a first
no,
date, but it's really awkward and really unnecessary, and people might be more freaked out when you ask questions like that.
You know, that's something I meant to talk to you about, Ben. So there's a controversy in the community and outside of the community.
God damn it, Jenna. God
I
damn
had
it,
to
Jenna.
stop and finish reading it. I'm sorry.
God
So-
damn it, Jenna.
What? Okay, so there's a debate. Trans people say I shouldn't have to say I'm trans when I go on a date, and that aren't post surgery, both. Like I know these guys on TikTok, and they've all had top, and they haven't had bottom surgery, and they're like, I shouldn't have to tell you, and I'm like, well, God, that's a tough fucking thing.
My thought is, like,
I mean, I think
you
if
don't have to
haven't
tell
had
them
surgeries. If you haven't
Like,
had the
you don't
bottom
have-
surgery,
yeah.
then maybe you I don't know. Should you have to? Like, I feel like it's lying
Well, here's-
to a point.
No, it's you shouldn't have to tell them if you're just dating. Like, the only time you should tell them is when you're about to have sexual interaction with them.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Because,
I agree
yeah.
with that. It doesn't necessarily have to be the first date. Like third or fourth date, you guys are getting along really good. You want to have sex, and maybe it's time to have that talk. But there's trans people out there like, I'm never going to have that talk. I shouldn't have to tell you. And I'm like, but that's not really fair.
They should. But anyone,
what-
but that goes in with just
Go ahead.
everyone, like, no matter if you're trans or not, should just normalize having conversations before they have sex about, hey, here's what
Right.
I'm bringing to the table. What are you bringing to the table? And that includes what anatomy you have, what positions you like, what type of play you like,
Yeah.
what are you willing to try, what are you not willing to like. At least like just make it. Everyone should have those conversations in general.
Yeah, and it's just like, let's say trans guy goes out with this, female, and she is intersex and also has a penis. Feel like she should tell somebody that before you have sex, because that's when it matters. Get to know the person first, and if you're okay with that next step, then you move on. But it's, some people say, well, I shouldn't have to say anything at all, and then some people say, well, you should say it on the first date and divulge who you are. So it's really a tough thing for me, because in one point I agree that your partner should know, but in the other point, I don't think you should have to like scream it to the rooftops when you're on a dating app. You start talking to each other, you start getting along, and then you go, hey, by the way, and then but the thing is that these trans guys are like going on multiple dates, and then the woman reaches down between their legs and there's nothing there, and I'm like, well, I think you should have told him by that point. So it's like there's like a fine line there. God, it's so hard. Like I don't know what to think about it.
Yeah, I just think it should be part of the we're about to have sex conversation. But then that conversation should be normalized, because I think too in the cis het community that conversation isn't normalized, because there's an assumption that if you are male, you bring this to the table. If you're female, you bring this to the table. And there's just that assumption that everybody's the same, when that's not the case. So I do think, it's maybe not the conversation that needs to happen right away. It should be said before you engage in sexual activity. But up until that point, I don't think you're obligated to say anything. But then we should normalize the conversation for everybody about what sexual activity is going to look like between the two of you.
Yeah, but it also, I hate to say it, but you could end up with a transphobe, and you're like in a vehicle with them and you're kissing them, and then you say, hey, I'm trans, I don't really have a penis yet, like, I don't know. Like I try to put myself in the other person's shoes and how I would feel about it if someone pops something on me like that, which I'm kind of like, hey, cool. I love everybody. So I don't know if it would bother me much, but there's been people that have been like, what, screamed at him and yelled at him and what the fuck, you're really a girl. And so, it's tough. I think it would depend on first of all, I think it would depend on the person. Wait until you have that good situation that talk is ready to be had. But yes, definitely before ever having sex. Because I just think it's fair. Just like I think guys that have really tiny dicks should just tell people, like, don't whip it out later and surprise somebody with a 2-inch dick. Just tell them I have a 2-inch dick, but I'm really good at licking pussy. Just be honest. But I think that everybody should be like that in every phase of their life, and it's just not feasible, I guess. Yeah, there you go, Ox. I don't have a penis yet, said as you lick your eyebrow. I found one of those things on TikTok, the lesbians going, well, I'm getting ready for Valentine's Day. And she's like, doing like these exercises on a table with her hands, and she's lifting.
Yeah, and when they have
hands,
when they got their nails done, but they didn't do the 2 fingers.
Yeah. Oh,
there's two that are short.
Yeah. The rest of them are long and painted. These 2 are short. Yeah. Yeah,
Phoebe's got a question for you.
Exactly, Phoebe. If someone's got a dick the size of fucking Jonah the whales, then I feel like you should tell somebody, hey, I could split you in half. But but that's my problem, is I think everybody should be honest all the time and just
well, and that's just the foundation of a good relationship, right?
It absolutely is, and that's why it's so hard for me, because see, of course I don't have to face this, so I'm really fucking spoiled rotten, but how do you draw that line? How do you decide what to divulge right away?
I think that's on an individual basis. I think
it totally is.
That's for yourself to decide and for the context to decide. So,
yeah. But at the same time, if someone's gone on like 4 or 5 dates with someone and they've already made out and stuff, I feel like you should have had that conversation. You know,
Well,
because it's not fair to the other
and again,
person
depending
too to
on
not
context.
know, because they're seeing you as a different person than what you really are. So that's not.
But what
fair
about
anyways,
but
'cause-
context? Context matters though, because what if
yeah.
like let's say both of you are asexual, but you're romantic, and like I don't think you need to say anything in that case if you're not going to have sexual. Like if you've just already decided you're not going to have sexual activity, there's not really. I don't think you need to
Oh,
say
yeah.
anything in that case because you're not. But
Yeah.
I think
if you have
it's
two
all context
asexual
dependent.
people, yeah, if you have two asexual people and they're never going to have sex and they'll just cuddle, it really doesn't fucking matter. So,
But yeah,
But
I mean,
then,
I personally would want to know. I would want to know if the other person is cool with dating a trans person
oh
early,
yeah,
because I'm
absolutely.
gonna GTFO if you're not.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I'm not
right.
gonna waste my time with you if you're not.
That's right.
Like,
They said, Dave said, everyone should have a size rating so tiny vaginas don't end up with massive penises. I'm an 8. Oh God, I'm a 3. No way. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I'm still trying to create the vaginal measurement device to decide what size I want to go with.
so here's the funny
that.
thing, though. Like, just for like all the penis owners out there who think that having a big penis is like the measure of their self-worth. You know, like evolutionarily, like big penises would only continue to be a thing if there are vaginas that can take them. So really it's the vagina that has determined the size of the penis that has been able to propagate and be successful. So
well, see, that's the thing is all these guys are like, oh, I got a big dick. And I'm like, so your woman's vagina's all stretched out? Oh, that doesn't sound very tasty. So the fact that I don't need a big one, I'm just bragging. Get a little one, will be fine. A dildo and a Sharpie. Let it be known, let it be heard that Larry said that. All you need is a dildo and a Sharpie. Yeah, I'm not sure what I need the Sharpie for. I can come up with about 10 different things. We'll talk about that later.
Dr. Cross.
Yeah. Litmus test. Are trans men? Are trans women women? No, fuck off then. Yeah. Yep, that is a Bob. Battery operated boyfriend. That's right. If a guy thinks he's too big, I can help. Purple. Oh my God. We have a bolt.
We do have a bolt.
Sloppy tacos. Oh my God, you guys, stop. This was a serious conversation 2 minutes ago. It
was a serious conversation until that happened. I'm finally getting rid of the last bit of my Captain Morgan because it's nasty as fuck. But I put it in some Peepus and now it tastes fine. It tastes fine in the Peepus, just not by itself. Just no, not by itself. You don't do that.
Yeah, rum and Pepsi, rum and Coke, something. You got to mix it.
And this is cherry Peepus. Fish tacos. Oh no.
Oh my God. No, we weren't talking about it like that, Mac.
So, I mean, we were kind of having a good conversation earlier, and I think that might be a good. I mean, we've had a couple of conversation topics, but talking about dysphoria, because I mean, we kind of established that like we can communicate maybe better with the audience a little bit about what dysphoria is like for us, and I think we hear a lot from the trans women in this community, because there are plenty of them, about what the different ways that they experience dysphoria. And so us talking about our facial hair and looking young and things, but like, I don't know, maybe we can expand more on dysphoria as a trans man and how that impacts our lives and impacts our transitions and also kind of impacts how we see ourselves in male society.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. No, it's funny how opposite it is. I realize I never changed the background because I was late. It's funny how opposite it is for trans guys versus trans women. But like we're both going in the opposite direction. You're like, see you later, dude. Like I'm heading this way, you know. And it, you know, it's strange to me because a lot of it is the same. You know, you have trans women that don't have real boobs, like let's say for instance, or you have a trans guy that hasn't got rid of them yet, and both of them spend all their time like hiding. You know, I'm gonna hide this, just for different reasons. But yeah, no, the dysphoria thing is huge, and I fortunately don't have a lot of issues with it. Although when someone says she or ma'am, I'm like, ow, God, dude, don't punch me in the face like that.
Yes,
you know?
Larry. Yes. Absolutely, Larry. I agree with this.
Yeah, but you know what, Larry? We're tougher than actually like cis men. You know why? Because women are meant to take pain. If you did surgery on a cis guy's dick, he'd never survive it. But us, we're gonna be like, yeah, put a dick on me. I got it. I got this shit. You know. So we are tougher than them. They just don't want to admit it. But no, that's true. It's true.
And I think that's how, like with trans guys, I think that's part of the issue too of why we're not taken as seriously in the conversation as trans women, because of course, like cis men, at least the toxic cis men, are trying so hard to prevent trans women from identifying with something that is inferior to them. And then on the flip side, they view us as already having been inferior, and there's no way we can earn our status up with the rest of men. So it's like we're not even worthy of the conversation because we're so emasculated. Like there's no way, no matter what surgeries, no matter how we act, no matter like what we do, we will never achieve that level of masculinity that is desired. Which is funny because a lot of times they can't even tell that we're any different.
But we keep thinking about it. Doesn't matter whether they can tell or not.
And
I mean, I definitely, especially since my voice has dropped, I get way more. I only get the female shit at work because everybody's so used to women working there. They automatically assume I'm a female. And I'm like, look at me. Like, I have big arms. I have big shoulders. I got tattoos. I have short hair. There's no boobs to speak of. Like, I don't understand how these people keep doing this. I'm like, have you even looked at me? Like, really? So it's it's definitely that's a struggle for me, but that's really only the only time that my dysphoria really punches me in the face is when they do that. So
yeah, it's rough. It's rough. And it's hard to imagine something so seemingly minor like destroying your mental health for days, weeks, months at a time. Like I can step back and hypothetically think to myself, okay, if I went home to my family and was constantly misgendered, like, yeah, I mean, it would suck, but I could deal with it, versus actually doing it this past winter break where it was absolute hell every single day. Because it's one thing to think about how something is going to go versus actually being put in that situation, experiencing it. Like it's real. So and it's something that like trans people can't effectively, no matter how hard we try, we cannot effectively communicate dysphoria, because even the feeling, like even if I tried to explain to a cis person, like imagine if you were called a woman or if you were called a man and you're not. Like a lot of cis people are like, that's wrong and it's not who I am. Like you can never communicate the depth of dysphoria to somebody who's never experienced it.
No, you really can't. And Heather and I have talked about, dysphoria and stuff, and some of the stuff how I feel about things. And I mean, I'm pretty low on the dysphoria scale for a lot of trans people. So I don't know. It's just I've spent most of my life dealing with it, so it doesn't hit me as hard. But there is no way for me I can't totally explain it to her. There's no way for her to totally understand. I think she understands more than anybody else ever has, that I've talked to. But
yeah, I think maybe the
anybody that's
best
not
way
trans, I think she understands the best. But
I think the best way I could even hope to kind of explain it is like imagine like one thing about your body or just about you as a person that you absolutely despise and that people have bullied you about. Like if you've ever been bullied for something that you can't control about yourself, something that you absolutely hate, something that you kind of secretly want to hide in public, think about that thing. And then think about that haunting you every day and having people constantly point out that one thing that you've been bullied about that you can't control. And then that's as close as I can get to
that's
what
good.
dysphoria
That's
feels like.
good. Yeah, and then think about your high school years, your entire life. Yeah, because that's what it is.
Yeah. Oh, something fun though on my going along with this comment on my psychiatry rotation. I think I'd mentioned this back then. I had told some of the other students that were also rotating there that I was trans, and they had thought that I was like a trans woman, that I was transitioning from male to female. I was like, that's such a huge
well, that's not the
compliment.
worst insult I've had.
Oh no, it's great because like that means I pass. That means I pass.
Right.
So
yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah,
you
Larry,
woke up
that's
one
great.
day with octopus arms. You are distressed, but everyone around you insists that your octo arms are normal, that you are deficient for being upset. I like that, Larry. That's good. Yeah, it is hard to explain. I don't know how to make anybody understand it. It's just like, a lesbian trying to explain to a cis het woman why she likes to lick pussy. Like, you're not. The cis het woman's not going to get it, unless she leans in that way. If she's super straight, she's not going to understand that. But it's the same thing, There's just only so much you can explain. So. Crazy but true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know any other way to. I like the bullying thing though. That's pretty good. I can't think of any other way to explain it. I think you and Larry did a better job than I could.
It's hard to communicate it.
Okay.
Eating disorders.
Oh.
I thought I was fat my whole life.
Yeah. There you go. Heather said eating disorders. She thought she was fat her entire life, but she's never been fat. Yeah. Sometimes I'm fish, sometimes I'm Hank. Huh? I don't get it, Dr. Cross. Does that mean? Do you know what it means?
No.
Sometimes I'm fish, sometimes I'm Hank. Nope, I don't get it. Yeah, I'd say the I don't know how to say this without divulging too much information. So Heather and I were making love one night, and we were in a certain position, and she looked at me and said, "Oh my God." And I said, "What?" She said, "No, I get it now." And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" She said, "I get you now. I understand you now." And like we both cried together, because just like the look on her face, I knew that she was going to understand as much as she possibly could, being who she is. So to what it's like to have that dysphoria while having sex. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got these turfs who, it's funny because trans guys like break every argument that the turfs have, because their whole thing is that like trans women aren't real women and that like men shouldn't be allowed in women's spaces. And then you bring up trans men and like they don't fit the narrative at all, because like you get some dude with like a huge beard and like deep voice and like jacked muscles and like, yeah, so you want this person to go into women's spaces? Like, do you really think any woman is going to feel comfortable with someone like that in their space? Like,
I'm going to tell you,
I don't think so.
There's a trans guy I follow on TikTok, and I never would have known if he didn't tell me. I mean, literally, there was no ping on my radar or anything, and I almost always know. But this guy, like, he's jacked. He's got full facial hair. He's got manly features. You know, he's like, he is such a freaking dude. Like, you just wouldn't know by looking at him. No clue. And I'm telling you, there'd be a lot of women screaming if a guy like that walked into a fucking women's room.
Oh, yeah.
To take a piss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because he is like the manliest trans dude I have ever fucking seen. And he's in perfect shape. Like, he's got a fucking 6-pack and, you know, he's jacked and, yeah. I mean, he was in good shape before he... Someone say to me today, you never see trans guys invading male sports, which made me realize they were just broken and had no idea what they were on about. Yeah. It's
like, yeah, trans guys are in men's sports and they're kicking butt. They're kicking butt in men's sports.
That's why the guys don't like it.
That's why they don't like it. Yeah. Because we're beating them.
You were born a female. You can't beat me. It's
like, hey, fair. I was born with an athletic disadvantage, and I'm still kicking your butt. So what's that say about you, mofo? Like, maybe there's something more to athleticism than being born male. Maybe there's more to this about equation.
Skill, training, natural talent, those things.
Yeah.
No, you're right, Larry. That is like the most vulnerable position. And honestly, I will hold true to the fact that my girlfriend is the reason that I don't have a lot of dysphoria, because she sees me for who I am and supports me totally. And that's just fucking incredible and rare. And it's true. So...
Yeah,
Phoebe. Exactly, Purple. Being born male didn't help me in sports in the least. Yep, there you go.
And like Phoebe, so Phoebe and I, if Phoebe and I were to play football or soccer, like, she would win. But that's not because she was assigned male at birth. It's because she trains soccer. Like, that is her sport. She does it. Like, she's good at it. Like, she would win because I don't train soccer. I don't play it frequently. I don't have the training. Like,
exactly.
So it's not the biology there. It's the skill level is not the same.
No. Yeah. No. Yeah, you don't take somebody who's like wrestled their entire life and then say, okay, we're going to teach you how to throw a football now. And be like, oh, you suck at it. Why do you suck?
Because you trained a different sport.
Life, right?
Yeah, you trained a different sport.
Yeah, I mean, there's women out there that are jacked beyond what any guy would be, and half the guys would be, and they're great at what they do, and it has nothing to do with anything, but they put the time in. They worked out. They went to the gym 4 hours every fucking day. You know, that's what these people do, and they live for that sport. That's what they want to do.
Like, that is their job. That is their job. Like the time that most of us spend at a desk or doing whatever job it is that we're doing, they are putting that into their sport because that is their job. That is their entire life. Like my teammates in jiu-jitsu, like they are professional. That is what
Yeah.
they do. That they
Right.
get paid to be successful. And
Yeah.
if they're not successful, they don't get paid for it. So, like, yeah, they're either working on themselves in their sport, they're competing, or they're coaching. That's it. That is their life. So no, I'm not going to be as good as them because I don't only do that. I'd have to give up something else in my life to be able to do that. Like, people have to understand that we make choices with the time that we have, and the fact that someone else put their time into one thing, that's their choice. They gave
Yeah.
up other things to do that. So you could
Absolutely.
also do that if you gave up your other things.
Right.
But also
Yeah.
know that this person who's doing all of that stuff for their sport, they're probably not doing the same things that you're doing because you're putting your time in things that you want to be good at. So
Yeah.
you have a couple options. Like, instead of whining about not being good at something and that someone else beat you, like, to either take the time, put in the effort to be good at that, or stop whining about it. Those are your options.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
it's
you
not
know,
that
my
hard.
next thing is, you know what I'm going to protest next? I'm going to go to the symphony orchestras. I'm going to
Yeah,
protest
they're
and
like-
say, no, that trans guy should not be allowed to play the drums with the straight woman because he's got more power behind the drums. Or that trans, that trans guy who used to be a female has more feminine hands, so they shouldn't be allowed to play the violin because they have a, they got a leg up on it. Yeah, that's where I'm going next. It makes just as much sense.
Yeah. Like, it's just people want to be mad at someone else for things that they aren't good at. Like, that's not a them problem. Like, that's a you problem.
Yes.
And either you can be, if you're going to be mad at it, you can put in the time to be good at the thing, like work on it, or don't be mad about it.
But no. But cis men are supposed to just be naturally born athletes. So if they can't do it, no chick should be able to beat them at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense to me. I think they're just jealous because we're going to have penises that will never go soft unless we want them to. I think that's what it is. Yeah. They're just jealous. We can last all night. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that maybe we can be in relationships because we're good people, and then not get mad because
we're honest. And
like,
we
don't demand people like owe us their bodies. And
we could keep going on with that for hours.
Yeah.
Well, there's one thing I have learned in my life, and of course this doesn't work across the board because there's no such thing as everybody. But for the most part, anybody I have met that falls underneath of the umbrella are the most honest people you ever meet because they have nothing left to hide. They already overcame their biggest hurdle in life, and they are who they are now. So what would they have to hide? So usually if you meet gay or trans or whatever people, they're usually pretty honest people. They're just going to tell you the way it is because there's no bullshit left. They don't have anything to hide.
Yeah, Trusty Ape, that's a good point too. Yeah, they have to, like, their social presence has to be a certain way for them to be
it's what sells
in their sport. Like, because that is their business. Like, their body and their athleticism is the commodity that they're selling.
Yeah.
So, like, that's what they do. Same thing with actors, with models, with people in like entertainment industries. They're selling their image.
Yeah.
That's a commodity. And you understand when you go into a business that, like, and you go into a job, you know what the cost is. You know what you're putting into it. And that's just like, you can choose to do it, you can choose not to do it. And of course, like, industry shouldn't be exploiting people. That's not what I'm advocating for here. I'm just saying that, like, you can't get mad at somebody for putting in the standards necessary to be the best at something, and then, like, I don't know, you can't be mad at them for doing that if you're not I don't know, going to be making the same choices as them. Like,
No,
you just
I
don't
know
have to
what
make the
you're saying.
choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. So Purple and Phoebe, I'm sending you links right now.
Yeah, let's open the
You
panel.
can
Let's
come
do
in
it.
if you want. I know Larry would come back, but his internet is shit right now, so
Yeah,
that's okay.
trans people panel. If you are trans, you can come on to the panel.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on in, guys, gals, whoever. Yeah, Twitter, Phoebe, and Purple. You guys have links in there, so hit me up. Misha Tate. I don't know who that is. Big
She
Brother.
was like one of the best female MMA fighters in the UFC for a while. She retired a
That's where
while
I've seen
back,
that
but
name.
yeah,
Okay, that
yeah,
makes sense.
she's a badass.
8 or more hours a day, according to the other house guests, and she doesn't have a fight coming up. She's just trying to stay in shape. Yeah, I mean that's what they do. They, that's like my niece. She does. She's a professional, physical trainer, and even when she's not training, she goes in the gym and works. She loves to be there. It's their wheelhouse. It's what they love to do. It's like
And
getting
also,
somebody who loves to bake, and then on the weekends they bake stuff in their kitchen because they love to bake.
well, and also if you're gonna be a personal trainer, like you're gonna need to be in shape because you're selling your business. Like you're telling other people, hey, I know how to get people in shape. If you're not in shape yourself, your clients are not going to look at you and think that you know what you're doing to help them.
Well,
Like,
and also with her, she was pretty chubby for a long time. I mean, she wasn't fat, she's like 5'10" and beautiful or whatever, but she was chubby for a long time, and that's what got her into working out. Is she said, you know what, I don't want to have this weight on me anymore, and I'm going to go bust my ass until I get rid of it. And then she said, you know what, I want to help other people do it, and that's what started the whole thing
that's
with
awesome.
her.
Yeah.
So she has pictures of her when she was chubby and didn't look great like she does now. She looked okay, still a pretty face, but her body was not that great for what she wanted. And she shows that stuff. She'll show those pictures to her clients. She has pictures on her website of what she used to look like, because she's not afraid to say, hey, look what I did, and to let them know, I know what it feels like. It's one thing to walk into an industry like that and already be in good shape and never have had an extra pound to lose. But it's something else when you have to fight your way to it. And then people go like, oh, okay, well, not only does she know what the fuck she's doing, but she's tough and persistent, and she's going to stick to it, and she's going to help me, and that's why she's blown up so much. So
it's awesome.
Yeah. Hi, Phoebe.
I think she's still migrating.
Oh, she's still migrating. She's still in flight, everybody. She's like a little goose flying in the air.
Flying
all
to
by
the
herself,
sauna.
though. Flying to the sauna. I must pine from afar, alas. Oh, Larry
Poor
can't
Larry.
join us. Damn it, Larry.
Yeah. Damn it, Larry. It's okay. It's okay.
The thing which gets me is how an industry has grown up to try and prevent trans people, particularly trans women, competing in sports. Yeah, I know. I don't even understand.
Yeah.
The bottom line is the women are afraid to have a man in their sport because it's the only thing they fucking have that's theirs, and it's still mostly controlled by men. And men are so toxic that they're afraid a female's going to come in and kick their ass. A female, so and that's where it all lies, I think. I mean, in some ways, I don't blame the typical cis woman for that, because there's when you're in sports and stuff, there's only so much you get that's yours. That's not affected by male toxicity and other crap. But that's why I still keep saying that ranges of weight classes would be the best idea for any sport. There's no bullshit to it. You're all in the same weight class. Doesn't fucking matter anymore. Tough shit, co-edit. Go on with your life.
Yeah, weight and then skill levels.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I mean, you're going to have
just
that anyway.
just as a beginning base, weight classes.
Yeah.
You know, if
Who
you
let
got
the
if you got
girl in here?
some tiny little
Boys
girl
did.
The boys
who's
let the girl
in
in
good
here.
shape that wants to play football, she shouldn't be playing with the, 400-pound, 6 foot tall dude. He'll just squish her, and he would squish the guy too. Honestly, so yes, Ox. Phoebe is very flighty. It's true. So how are you, Phoebes?
My chair collapsed on me.
Oh, I thought you were like beating something. I didn't know what you were doing.
No, I'm
Building a
not whacking
chair.
one out.
Oh.
Well, you were talking penises earlier.
We were.
New us? We never talk about penises. What are you talking about?
Look, you
It's a
made me
trans guy
admit you're
stream.
entitled to be dicks.
It's a trans guy stream. We never mention penises.
What? Oh, speaking of penises, actually, I should share my. Okay, so I've
Yeah.
watched a lot of procedures in medicine, right? And most of them
Right.
do not bother me. The first one that has ever bothered me happened today, and I'm not okay. Because yeah, so I watched a routine infant circumcision today, and I'm like, I hate this. I hate all of this. I hate all of this. I'm like, because I'm not cool with it. I'm not.
No, that's one of those things. And no, this chair's fucked. This
I
chair.
hate that it's routine, and I hate that it's the expectation that people do that. Like,
Ugh.
it's
And
not okay.
that's all like religious based crap. And then guys
It
started
is.
doing it, and then they were like, my son's penis should look like mine, so we should
I want
get
to
him
answer this question.
circumcised too. Go, Phoebes.
It is a nonsense idea because the numbers don't bear it out. There are not enough people to make separate but equal in sport a reality.
Yeah.
And I choose the language of Brown v. Board of Education, separate
Because
but
that's what it
equal.
is.
Because that is what
What
it is. And it is a nonsense idea. And every time you hear someone go, well, there should be this and this and this, and then there should be this separate special category for trans people, are basically turning around and saying there should be this special separate category so that we can tell trans people to fuck off out of what we consider to be not their spaces because we don't want them participating in society and we want to erase their ability to participate in sports that we take as a human right for ourselves, but we consider it not to be a human right for trans people.
Dave, the first thing I see the problem with is what Phoebe was saying. The second thing I see a problem with is there's really not a lot of trans people that are into sports.
Lie! You liar!
I see a lot of trans people online that are not interested in sports.
No, but there are plenty that are into
sport.
sports. There are plenty that are. It's just not enough.
Well, yeah, but I'm
compared
just saying,
to-
what are you gonna do next? Like divide up? You're gonna take all the bisexual because if you're gonna do trans people, you should do all the gay people and all the bisexual people too, and they should all have their own divisions. Like that whole thing is ridiculous. Yes, it's a terrible idea, Dave.
Here's the thing. The number of trans people in sport is significantly higher than the number of trans people that you know about in sport. Because there are trans women who play professional rugby, even though World Rugby says it's a no-no.
Mm-hmm.
Because, do you know what? The only reason that the Football Association know that I'm a trans woman in sport is because I have voluntarily told them.
Right.
I could have simply walked into my football team as a stealth trans woman and go, and someone told me, you're a trans woman. No, what the fuck's that? Wait, who the bloody hell are you? Get on your bike, you nasty, awful human being. How dare you try to claim that I'm not a woman? Get out! How fucking dare you?
Right.
And then they'd look at you and go, oh shit, did we just hit a nerve there saying that? And then they wouldn't bother because if you had that kind of reaction and you just go, excuse me, what the fuck are you on about? Get out!
Yeah.
They're not going to know. They don't have access to the gender recognition register. They don't have access to my medical records. And it's only because I've told them that they know that. I don't have to submit a blood test to compete as a matter of course. And even if I did, it would be within female ranges.
Yep.
I don't have to undertake a gender test.
Yep.
But up until 1996, every female, and only the females, had to participate in the Olympics, had to take a gender test unless you were royalty. And then the Princess Royal, Princess Anne in the UK, didn't have to take a gender test because it would have been seen as degrading and humiliating and not in the best interests of sport.
Yep.
Because she was royalty.
But it's not degrading enough for anybody else because no one else is a human.
Absolutely not. But you know what they used to do in gender tests?
Hold on. Before you say that, I'll be right back. You have Phoebe, so I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Medical man, do you know what they used to do for gender tests?
Was it genital inspection?
There was genital inspection, gait inspection. You used to have usually cis male doctors make these women walk up and down in certain ways. And they would make them undertake a chromosome test.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Cis, yeah, just like it sucks because like all of this started with like cis men being assholes, but then now we got the TERFs who are mostly cis women.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say it was about 50-50 split.
Okay, 50-50, but a significant amount of them are cis women.
Yeah, a lot of them are. But a lot of them are just dinosaurs. And I say that because it pisses them off. So your wonderful worlds of your Emma Hiltons of this world who claim to be above their own station, who claims to be some senior associate where she's actually just some research technician. And then you have all these other people floating around the internet, such as Nicola, I've set up my own vanity vehicle, Williams, called Fair Play for Women, which is not actually about fair play for women. It's about I hate trans people and I've set up a company so that I have the corporate veil to protect me from being prosecuted for engaging in violations of the Equality Act. They are simply there to push their own version of grift. See Maya Forstarter, who has managed to successfully make a career out of being some grifting transphobe. It's just nonsense. And for anybody that is wondering why I'm in such an especially narcissistic mood today, I've had about enough shit thrown at me in the past 6 months that you can take anything else you're going to throw at me and you can sit on it and swivel.
Yeah, Phoebe's gone through a lot.
Yeah. So, come at me, but whatever you throw at me, no, I'll send it back to you on fire.
And in the most British way possible.
Talk a lot of codswallop at me, try and have a dishonest chinwag with me, and I will make sure that you are on the dog and bone to A&E ASAP.
Yes, that was words.
Now, somebody in the chat, could you translate what I just said for the American on here, please?
Where did Stool go? Stool was here. Stool, can you translate?
Look, Stool, I need you to make sure that the gardener understands that the pen pusher is speaking about the dog and bone and someone getting carked if they ain't careful.
I'm gonna put this in Stool's Twitter. Like, Stool, I need a Brit to translate.
But yeah, it is incredible when individuals think it is their right to try and tell me and this wonderful human being and everyone else that's trans or not cis that they should abide by the rules set up to protect the grift of other people. Simple as that.
Yep.
So, what I want to do
Okay. Addressing this.
Let's read it out.
No, there is no, because the data does not show that trans women are
I'm going to say
any
this to you in the
significantly
politest
different
way
than
possible.
cis women.
I'm going to say this to you in the politest way possible, Abe. Please go away and read studies from the University of Brighton, which are written by Blair Hamilton and Blair Hamilton's supervisor, whose name escapes me right now. And you will find that there is significant data that says that cis women should be compared to trans women and cis men should be compared to trans men, because hormone replacement therapy for trans people causes equalizations in outputs when undertaken for a significant period of time that equalize with their cisgendered counterparts of the same sex. So cis women with trans women and cis men with trans men. There is no statistically significant difference between cis women and cis men and trans men after a specific period of time, which escapes me, that hormone replacement therapy has been undertaken and has been undertaken in a controlled fashion that is effective in causing the hormone effect to take the desired effect in the individual concerned.
Exactly.
Was my science wrong there?
No, your science is correct there.
I'm not a scientist.
No, but Blair is.
Blair very much is a scientist. Blair, for those of you who don't
and
know,
she studies it.
For those of you who don't know, Blair Hamilton, my best friend on this whole wide world, who is a significantly better goalkeeper than I could ever dream to be, and is as Scottish as all giddy up, is the lead IOC researcher for trans people in sport out of the University of Brighton. So she does this day in, day out, day in, day out.
You just got a marriage proposal, Phoebe. I know you're already engaged, but...
Look, Larry, I understand that in some states of America, there may be a push towards multi-member unions of more than 2 people, but that hasn't happened yet. So I'm terribly sorry. I cannot accept your proposal yet because I cannot be in a marriage with more than 2 people as it currently stands. And as I understand it, you have a husband.
Yeah, this would just get complicated, but yes.
Look, I understand the state of Utah would love to be able to have multi-person unions which are greater than 2 people, but that ain't happened yet. Yes, I am trying to make those wonderful people that set up the Crystal Church be seen in the Salt Lake.
See, I would like to see this be a thing too, but not for Mormon reasons, but just for poly reasons.
But I want more men.
I mean, you could just have it be in like a consensually
I
poly
want it
relationship.
for Mormon reasons because I want more men.
That should be fine as long as it's consensual.
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
Like
more
consent
men,
is
more
key.
better.
Consent is the only thing I care about.
As somebody said to me, but how would you manage to do this in a way? I said, you do understand that, business partnerships exist with more than 2 people. How would it be any different to that? Because as it currently stands, legal unions, whether they be civil partnerships, marriages, civil unions, whatever, are just a business transaction in the most basic legal sense here.
Yeah.
It is simply to say...
You're potentially joining finances, joining households, like joining...
And inheritance rights, child rights...
Yeah,
parental rights. There was something that Penn Jillette said. Penn Jillette said that orgies in the sauna are fine, and he also said, I cannot guarantee that he actually said that, but anyway, Penn Jillette said the only reason that I married my wife was so that I could gain legal rights for our children who were born, and to ensure that I was listed as the father when we were going through IVF and surrogacy. Because he said otherwise it would have meant that I would have had to go through a separate procedure after the surrogacy to be listed as the father, and it would have cost so much money, I would have had to effectively adopt my own child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the other thing, there is another reason why you get married, and that's spousal privilege. I've been watching Better Call Saul recently.
This.
Yep, that is also correct. And also rights, mortuary rights. You have the right to inspect the body, claim the body, etc. much more easily if you are married to a person. Which sounds horrible, but that is what I'll do. Yeah, you also have more rights when it comes to a funeral organization.
Speaking of this is off topic, but something that I come across a lot in medicine that like people just need to know about. So if you sign the paperwork, if you fill out the paperwork to become a family member's power of attorney, specifically their medical power of attorney, it does not mean
in some states this is known as.
Yeah, it does not mean that you are now the default person to make medical decisions. That only comes into effect if that family member is not able to make decisions for themselves. So if you go to a doctor's office with your family member and your family member is still able to make decisions, you do not get to override. Yeah, you do not get to override their decision because you're the POA. That's not how this works. If they were to go into a coma, now you have the rights as a POA to make their decision.
Or not capable of making their own decisions in any form, like dementia.
If they are declared to not have mental capacity to be able to make informed decisions that are...
It's like, but that...
Yeah,
that happens so frequently. Like people will be like, "Oh, but ask me what to do." Like I'm the POA. Like no, but your family member's right here, and they're answering questions appropriately. They get to make the decision.
I have no reason to believe that this individual is not able to understand what is going on. Not necessarily only when they're incapacitated. It's much broader than that. It's from when they are unable to express their own legal capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and there are certain questions that you ask to determine someone's legal capacity.
And
you document that.
An example of legal capacity question would be, could you please tell me what day of the week it is?
Yep.
Another question.
Yeah, we have these.
Could you please tell me who I am?
We have these 18 to 23-year-old kids at work whose parents also are patients. And the parents call in and go, "Oh, hey, I want to discuss." I'm like, are you the power of attorney? Is this person incapacitated? No. Well, then I can't discuss their health care with you. Why? Because they're over 18. They need to call me and discuss their health care. I can't tell you results. I can't leave this message with you. It's not in here that they say it's okay. No, I can't do it. And some of the parents get mad at me. I'm like, well, that's a HIPAA violation. And I could lose my job for doing it. So I'm not going to do it.
And depending on state too, certain things are also protected even for minors. Like STD testing is usually confidential for minors. Like even if you're the parent, Phoebe, you're muted.
Abortion.
Yeah. So things that need to be confidential because it's for safety reasons. Because like so if minors, because a minor might not disclose their sexual activity if they know their parents are going to find out. They're not going to get the test if their parents are going to find out. And to allow them to have access to that care. Yeah, so that is something that is confidential, even though it is a health issue. And if they're a minor, that's still confidential.
So in the UK,
absolutely,
in my now former profession, if somebody disclosed to me that abuse was taking place and they were under the legal age of majority, I would have to turn around and only disclose that with a certain list of people, and one of the people that would not be on that list would be the parents. Full stop.
Yeah.
Unless I was expressly told I was allowed to do so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the whole abuse thing, like there's just a lot of ways you can very easily mess up the situation. Because you don't prod for more information than you need, because you can be messing with evidence. Like,
Yep.
because that is a legal matter that needs to take place, and in asking questions, you could be leading them to
So-
answer in a certain way, or even
My-
be just be seen to be leading them in a certain way, and that can throw off an entire investigation and get a case thrown out. So
what I will
like you
say
could be
on
doing a lot of harm in digging more.
So on this matter
Absolutely.
of asking questions, if you are not a police officer and you are not a social worker, and somebody discloses to you in any capacity, including if you are a teacher, and they say, I think I am a victim of abuse, I think XYZ has happened, you have to go, okay,
You report
I
it.
now have to stop you. I'm sorry, I can't hear any more of what you're saying. You can talk at me as much as you like, but you cannot ask questions at all. You can ask, are you okay? Is there anything you would like me to do? And questions like that, but you can't say, could you please go into more details for me?
Yeah. No,
Because
you got to report
as a
to the
social
people
worker-
you are mandatorily supposed to report to.
Because as a social worker, I have a very specific way of asking very specific questions, which are worded in a very specific set, so that I do not create any lead or any bias in those questions, and they have been through a lot of trial, and they have been through a lot of legal testing, shall we say. It is the same with specially trained police officers, and it is the same with specially trained appropriate adults who are attached to the police. Judges will also have certain training in the UK. I'm not sure about the United States. And so should those barristers and solicitors in the UK who are dealing with cases that involve those who are abuse victims, whether they be over or under 18.
Mm.
And that is important to understand, that even if somebody is over 18 and they report to you that somebody is abusing them in a domestic setting or in another setting, you have to be very careful how you then approach it, even if that person is over the age of 18 and has full capacity. Because you can become a material witness in these proceedings.
Thank you.
And not only can you become a material witness, but you can also become an individual who could cause a case to collapse. Fuck on me, that got heavy.
Yeah. Anyway, trans thing. But that was I was just going along with the point. Like, don't be a dick about being a POA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
But yeah, about trans things. My interview today was a very interesting interview. I had Alex on my show, a trans guy on my show, talking about being a trans guy and being a mother, which was very interesting.
A seahorse dad.
Well, yeah. And they said they already have a father, and I'm their mama. Full stop. And you ain't ever going to change that.
Interesting.
Because at the end of the day, I am not here to dictate to anybody how they have their children refer to them and how they refer to themselves in their children's lives. Because guess what?
Yeah, that's up to them.
I'm not a dickhead.
Yeah, it's up to them. It's up to that person.
People are saying hi, Heather.
Hello, Heather. This is Bigby. How you
Hi,
doing?
Mom.
Ben said hi, Mob. Phoebe said hi, Heather.
Hi.
This is 3 a.m. transatlantic. Hello, how are you doing? But as a trans woman, I watch this show and I jump in. And hearing the trans man perspective is very important for me as a trans woman for two reasons. First of all, it is important to know the perspectives of others. You should always listen and learn. And second of all, it's validating for me to hear that people who are, quote, the polar opposite of me are experiencing the same things as me, and that we have a common and shared bond through being trans, no matter what anybody says. Because being trans is fucking awful. I wouldn't want, if I could choose to start again to be trans, I would just want to be starting this as a woman. Because that would make my life a whole fucking lot easier.
Boy, wouldn't it though? Oh my god.
For real though.
Yeah, instead of going through all the shit, and yeah, it's funny because people are like, "Oh, you choose it." Yeah, we choose for people to hate us and despise us.
I choose to spend
think
the money
ill
that
of
I was
us
going
and
to
talk
spend
shit
getting...
about us. And
So yeah, I happily chose to spend the money that I had been saving for a deposit on a house to go and have a necessary medical procedure instead. I happily did that.
oh yeah, when I get done, I'm going to be in so much debt, I'll probably never pay it off before I'm dead. But oh well.
You never know.
Yeah. Such is life, right?
It's like people who say that, well, you choose to be depressed, you choose to be suicidal. You wouldn't say that to somebody that's standing on the precipice of a bridge. Why are you choosing to be suicidal today? Why are you choosing to stand on the edge of this bridge? Why are you choosing to potentially end your life today?
Why
See, but I
are
don't
you
like that
choosing to have
analogy 'cause then-
appendicitis today?
Why are you
Thank
choosing
you.
to have a
That's
consultation
closer.
today?
I don't like those analogies though, Phoebe, because then you're making it sound like we're mentally disturbed.
No, what I am saying is that there is an element of internalized psychology that goes on as a trans person that we have no control over.
Yeah.
In the same way that somebody else who is experiencing mental discomfort of a certain degree is going through an internal psychological process that they have limited, if any, control over.
Right. I agree with that.
I'm not trying to say that we're mentally ill. I'm just saying that the internal psychology of it is comparable.
Right. Yeah, that is the only choice in it too. And you're right. Is it, do I admit who I really am and bear the brunt of that, or do I keep it hidden? Which is why I started transitioning at 50 years old. Because it is, it also depends on the generation you're born in. The generation I was born in, it wasn't cool, man. It wasn't okay. Nobody would be okay with it. There was people killing people and stuff over being gay, never mind trans. You weren't sure as hell weren't going to admit that. So
I started my transition when I was 20, which was 13 years ago. And by Christ, it was awful. And that was only 13 years ago. So for anybody that tries to tell me that it was easy for me when I did it, nah, it weren't easy for me. I lost everything and I had to start again. And when I say I lost everything, I lost my job, I lost my home, and I lost my family. So make of that what you will. Has Ben gone into a state of stasis or something?
No, there's a video of somebody making brownies. Okay, I'm done. I got hungry.
Student Dr. Ben, Could you please share said video so that we can do some, fair use, fair dealing commentary on said video?
No, it's okay. I don't need to watch the brownie video.
Are you luxuriating over brownies?
No, it's just brownies. It's just brownie video.
Are you just luxuriating full stop?
No.
Wait a minute, I heard something about brownies and you brought me back. What?
I was watching. I was zoned out. I zoned out for a sec because I got distracted by a video of someone making brownies, and that's okay. We don't need to keep watching that because that will make me want brownies, and I should not have them.
But
right
yeah,
now.
Yeah, I shouldn't either.
What Ben said earlier
But I will.
about soccer, I'd like to say that if I stepped into a BJJ ring with Ben, my ass would be handed to me.
Maybe literally because I like to fold people. My sport is folding people.
You would then iron them out afterwards.
Well, yeah, it's like there's a meme that's like it's like doing laundry but with the person still inside.
Yeah, that. That's it.
Like it's accurate though.
You're folding people, but the clothes are still.
Damn it, Ollie. Well, hey, as soon as I said brownies, the viewer count went up. Got all the stoners showed up.
Yeah.
The stoners showed up. The
Someone
stoners all congregated around Ben.
Oh,
Speak of the devil. Well, the lack thereof. Hi, brother.
that would explain why we got more people because Richard's here now.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He brought some people with him.
We brought the people.
Maybe.
Hanger-onerers.
Well, if there wasn't a trans hater out there, then, maybe he can bring in a cigarette. I don't know. Are you going to smoke? Oh. Anyways,
In random other news, the UK.
he could also bring the theist haters.
In random other news,
Yes.
the Queen has COVID.
The Queen has COVID. Good to know. Thank you for the UK update.
So we could end up with King Charles III,
Mm-hmm.
which nobody wants.
Nope. Nobody needs that.
I just wanted to get your opinion on this, student Dr. Ben and Mr. B. So from Thursday, the United Kingdom is scrapping, England is scrapping all COVID rules, laws, and regulations.
They're stopping the mask
that's
mandate here, and that this is going to be. They're stopping the mask mandate here, and it's going to be the first time since COVID.
So just so that everybody is aware what I mean by all regulations stopping, the requirement to self-isolate if you test positive for COVID or have COVID-like symptoms is being abolished in England. The access to testing without cost is being abolished in England. Lateral flow tests being available at your chemist is being abolished in England. So you have to send away for them, pay for them, and they get sent back to you. Passenger locator cards are being abolished in England. The requirement to test negative before entering the UK or to have been fully vaccinated before entering the UK is being abolished. So I just wanted to get your opinion.
Yeah, y'all are just gonna die.
Work in medicine.
Like, is this the way to get the UK wiped off the face of the earth? Because it sounds like a great plan if that's what the goal is.
Hang on, it gets better. From next month, if you're age 75 or over, or you're in a clinically vulnerable group like I am, you're going to be offered a 4th COVID vaccine dose.
So some of you will be okay.
Like me.
Some of you will be okay, and then others are just gonna, say fuck it.
So what is the next letter in the Greek alphabet after Omicron?
I knew at one point. My brain is mush right now. It's test week.
Okay.
Don't know. Never did know, never will know, probably.
Also, I guess I should preface this. It's test week, and I take my next round of boards May 9th. So my brain's gonna be mush for the next foreseeable future because I'm in grind mode.
Right.
I'm in like grind mode.
Wow.
So
if we end up with a pi variant, it'll probably have originated in the UK.
I wouldn't be surprised.
We already gave you the beta variant, so there
Yeah.
you go.
Is this revenge for 1776?
So my brother wants to know if the sauna is lapwood of Norwegian wood. Watch out for fires.
No, this is not lapwood of Norwegian wood. It is not.
The next letter is holy shit.
Wow,
After
the
all,
next letter is
holy
pi.
shit.
It may be holy shit, but it's holy shit pie.
It's holy shit pie. That's right.
What I would say is, I think this is a spruce of some kind, a Norwegian spruce of some kind.
Well, actually, Guy, they don't skip it. It depends on how many variants they find.
They did actually skip 2 letters. One of them was to prevent America being xenophobic. Because they weren't going to have the woo variant.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Boy, Trumpers would have had a field day with that.
Yep.
Yeah. Nope.
Max says it looks like
Not the
cedar.
blue variant, the she variant, the XI variant, the she variant. And they also weren't going to have the new variant or the moo variant.
Wow.
But they did go through theta and kappa. But they were just much more localized, smaller variants.
Mm-hmm.
So moo,
Ben,
nu,
aren't
and
you
she
part
were-
Norwegian?
I am.
See, Ben's got Norwegian.
My
wood.
Norwegian wood. Yeah.
I couldn't help it. I had to say it. Yeah, we're really racist here. Our Asian community thanks the medical community for that. Yeah. You know,
Yep.
I saw a real quick touching
Yep.
on that. There's a black lady who's a big advocate that I follow on TikTok. She's amazing and brilliant, and she shared this video of this little old lady saying, you know, I don't even know how blacks and Asians and anybody that's of any Spanish descent can even look at us every day and not fucking hate us. So, yeah, people need to chill out. She was funny. She was like a 90-year-old white woman and just going off about, you know, how bad society is and people hating each other and how ridiculous it is, and how she's all inclusive for anybody. It's any color of skin or any sexual preference or whatever. And it's just ridiculous. And people are just, you know, hating on each other for no good. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with her on all that. Yeah. I don't know how black people could even speak to us. I wouldn't want to fucking talk to us.
Mhm.
It's true. I wouldn't. I mean, I'd be like, fuck all you goddamn crackers. Real talk.
Yeah.
I'd hate us. Yep. And there's time, like I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's times I wake up in the morning and go, fuck, I hate being white. You know? Because I'm just classified in with those douchebags. But anyways, yeah. Enough about the Norwegian wood.
Hot wood. There's 2 men above me.
There you go. Are they Norwegian?
Well, I don't know. Well, one of them is. I don't know about the other one. I don't know the origins of this person called Mr. B.E. Don't know his origins.
I am Italian, Irish, English, and German.
So we'll
One
just call you
quarter of each.
European. We'll just call you
European, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just European.
We'll just call you World War II in one person.
Yep, European now by the bush. That's right.
So
Agreed, Maya.
Agreed.
Agreed.
I've got a serious question here for the 2 men up here.
Go.
2 trans men up here.
Is it about my dick?
No, it's not about your dick. Stop
Okay.
thinking with your fucking underpants, mate.
God, I thought somebody else was going to ask me what was in my pants. No, I'm kidding. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Hey, look. Just because you men are obsessed with, filling your underpants, I'm not at the moment. Filled enough underpants in my life.
Filling them. It sounds like I'm trying to shit in them. I don't want to fill them like that.
Fair enough. But
Yes, what is your question?
Yeah, go.
where do you two see the erasure of trans men being from? And do you think that trans women are partly to blame for that?
I think it's toxic masculinity, and I think it's largely religious communities that have just shunned anyone with a vagina. like you were assigned female, you don't deserve a voice. I think it comes less from trans women and more from a society that just values male voices, and that assumes that anyone who is not born with a penis is not one of those voices.
Agreed with all of that.
But I think what I'm getting at here is, do you think that there are some trans women who still exhibit a level of toxic masculinity in and amongst their interactions?
I mean, there always are. There are trans men too who also
nobody
do that.
I've personally met, but
like I guess like the biggest thing, and this isn't, I don't want to put blame on anybody, because I don't think we need to, but I would like for trans women to include trans men in the conversation. Like, I want, when the world hears about trans issues, I don't want trans women to be the one perspective that is deemed to be all trans people. I want all of us to be in the equation. I want all of our voices to be heard. And I want there to be understanding that there isn't one right way to be trans, and that the trans feminine experience isn't the only one. So just let us in the conversation. That's it.
yeah.
Well, you two have been in my conversations, and I'm pleased to have had you in my conversation.
Ditto.
And they've been great.
Yeah.
You want to watch a really heavy conversation? Watch tonight's stream. No, sorry, I advise you to listen to tonight's stream. Watching it is slightly more complicated. I'm going to have to remaster the video on tonight's stream because it is a very complicated video set up from my guest tonight, who was Alex.
So Stool finally responded to me in the Twitter chat. So I had said, because Beck had left, and then Phoebe spouted some British nonsense, and I was like, we need someone to translate this. And so I went to Twitter and was like, Stool, I need someone to translate Phoebe's British. And then Stool shows up and says, Phoebe speaks pen pusher. I only do proper English. Go have that fight, Phoebe. Go have that fight in Stool's
I will
Twitter.
proudly say that I speak pen pusher, but I will say this. I am the pen pusher that Stool has hired to be the pen pusher. Look, if the gardener can't understand the pen pusher, then make sure that the gardener can understand the paycheck that I'm writing out for. Because
I just want you to go fight with Stool about who's more English.
Let's put it this way.
Oh God. Yeah. Yes, Maya. It really is.
I will be
Stool
back
comment.
in a second.
Okay.
Kyle. What's up, buddy? Sorry you're feeling blah. Hope your night gets better. Whew. Starting to feel full from those homemade tacos.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting close to 2 hours. I don't know how long you want to go tonight.
Yeah, I'm not going to go real late. I'm just freaking tired. Mondays are crazy at work. I would like to live long enough to see the sexism disappear, where people are people again, not objects of debate and ridicule. Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? But I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen that here in the U.S., Ox.
Yeah.
Maybe pre-Europeans you guys have, but as in
Yeah, Kyle, that
natives, but not
sucks. I'm so
us.
sorry, Kyle.
Oh no, bro.
Kyle had food poisoning. That's nasty.
Oh, that sucks.
Food poisoning
That's horrible.
is like the worst.
Mm-hmm. I had something happen years and years ago, and God, it must have been like 25 or 26 or something. I was young, and oh man, I was sick as a dog, and it was just coming out both ends. And I called my boss and said, "Oh man, I'm sick. I'm puking. I'm shitting. I don't know what to do." And she said, "So I'll see you in about an hour." She hung up. I went to work. Yeah, I went to work. It was a rough day at work. Oh my God, for 2 days I was so sick, and I'm pretty sure it was food poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I never got sick,
Well,
and then
food
I
is bad.
ordered some food out, and then I got sick.
Yeah, it's the worst. Can throwing up put strain on your chest? Yes. It can give you muscle strain. For sure.
Yep. Abdomen all the way up to your chest. It's true. You got to figure it's all muscles, and if you're yanking on them over and over again unexpectedly,
It's
it's just
hurt.
like it's like not stretching out and then going to the gym. You're gonna fucking pull something. So stretch out before you puke, Kyle. That's what I'm saying.
And also, make sure you warm down after you puke as well.
Yeah. When you're done puking, make sure you do a little exercise to keep those muscles loosened up for next time.
But yes, I was about yay far away from losing this conversation because my computer, I just realized I hadn't plugged it in because I'm a lunatic at times.
Oh no. Well, we're not going to be on too much longer, I think, because I'm in exam week and Beck has work and stuff too.
But
So-
what
Yeah,
I
I'm
would like to
tired.
say is, are we able to plug something that is coming up very soon that the three of us are
We
taking
should-
part in?
We should plug all the things. Also, speaking of that, Beck, I went to the schedule and swapped our slots.
I knew you were going to, and I already
Okay.
when I was
Sweet.
when I was talking to everybody on the shills last night when I hopped in, I told them all to be on my channel at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
the reason for that is because I'm on cardiology next
Mhm.
month, and it's interventional, and I've been told that Wednesdays and Fridays are procedure days, and it will be variable end times, so
Yeah.
later's better for me.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Just
And
in
if I
case.
need to keep running into your slot, I'll just do it. I'll do it.
Oh,
Until
I
you
should be
show
back
up.
by then, and I'll probably show
Okay.
up for yours, but I just didn't want to like commit to a slot and then not be able to make it to my scheduled slot, so this just is easier.
Puts up with you. We love you, buddy. There's no putting up with you. So March 4th, we're starting the stream at 7 p.m. Well, I'm sorry, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. my time for the Lavender Lady to get people to donate some more money so we can help her out more. And so if everybody wants to show up for that, it's going to be start off with the gun. We were talking about sports. Now I'm thinking of.
You need to start with a pistol.
So I'm starting off the marathon at 9 p.m. Eastern on my YouTube. We will go over to Ben's and then on to other people. And the end of it on Saturday night. Well, what we think is going to be the end. If more people want to keep streaming into Sunday morning or into Sunday, cool. We will let it go as long as we can. So if you guys can't donate, shell it out, share the links. And of course, if you can stream and you guys anybody wants to jump in, and I'm trying to get the link right now. If anybody wants to jump in
is that
and
the
stream,
second
then
half
please let
is
us know.
pretty full. The second half is pretty full. We have Nat One Heroes, Math Pig, Jim Hall, some bloke called Ben, and someone called Secular Rarity. Not sure who the bloody hell they are. I might tune in.
I'll
but,
show that in a sec.
Not sure who the hell they are.
Thanks,
There's
Alex.
someone called
Yeah.
Beck, Not sure who that is. Then there's me. There's me and my good friend Lucy Westenra. We're doing something which I shall share out in a second. And then we got blank, 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 blank. And then someone's going to be cooking breakfast, a very British breakfast. And then we got a couple of blanks. And then we got, don't know who those men are. But yeah, anyway. Anywho.
Yeah, there's all kinds of people. Matter of fact, Dick Dawson told me he'd do a couple hours for us. So I need to look at the schedule and see what slots we have open.
So
yeah, I saw you, Ox. I saw you.
What time is Dawson on? What time zone?
We don't know yet.
I don't know. I have to tell him what slots are open. I haven't even.
No, what time?
He's in Canada. I don't know which side of Canada he's on.
He's on Pacific.
Okay.
Oh, he's Pacific. Okay, so
he could probably do a later slot then, maybe,
or an early slot,
or an early one.
A really early slot, because there is a 2-hour slot before I cook breakfast for everybody. So if they're -8, so they could be on, and then.
So I do want to show one of my slots, mine on the 5th, because I'm premiering a brand new show on my channel with Secular Rarity, and it's going to be a really fun time. So
yeah. Not only is Ben premiering a new channel, I'm going to say I saw you do that, and then I had to go, hey, that's a good idea. So I just ripped it off, and I'm actually premiering my own show.
You're premiering too.
Lucy Westenra. So I'm premiering a show called Legally Trans, where Lucy and I, who have both been through law school in the UK, take a case which has been brought by GCs or has been brought against GCs, and we go through about why they lost or why, unfortunately, they won. And the first case that we're starting with is Authentic Equality Alliance versus Equality and Human Rights Commissioners. So this is the Anne Sinnott case, and the episode is titled An Obvious Absurdity, which is one of the things that the judge said to Anne Sinnott, who brought the case, and Anne Sinnott's barrister when they were applying to have this case brought. So Anne Sinnott is a rampant transphobe and prominent gender critical, and she tried to bring a case that said that it was fine to en masse and on blanket just exclude trans women from women's spaces. It didn't say anything about trans men, but just exclude trans women from women's spaces. And the judge went, what you're talking about is an obvious absurdity, love. Now get out. So we're going through that. So that is the first of what will hopefully be many in the long line of legal issues that will be being tackled on Legally Trans. So what's the title of your premiere?
Our new show is called Sci-Fi Breakdown, but it's sci and then like science, and then PHI sci-fi. So it's SCI like science, and then phi like philosophy.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna take topics each show that people will either call into a show about, like arguments that people bring up a lot, like either on call-in shows or in like day-to-day conversations about like atheism and all those related issues. And then we're going to talk about it, break it down, and how we would address that conversation from our different perspectives, because we noticed that people communicate very differently, and the way that you might address a topic from a philosophical point of view is very different from the way you'd address the same topic from a scientific point of view. And the thing is, a lot of times when we talk about these topics, we're talking past each other, because one person might be from one perspective and the other person from a different one. And the language we might use is similar, but has very different meanings and connotations and context. So how do we explain kind of where we're coming from? How do we also teach the audience like some tactics to use in approaching that? And then also just like experiment with me trying to communicate from a perspective I'm not familiar with, and then him also trying to take my perspective. So trying to use each other's methods and to demonstrate that you might be good at your own thing, but it's okay to learn some other way of communicating, and that we're not all perfect at everything. So it'll just be a fun little kind of discussion show.
Good. Crazy Catnip. I thought I asked you about me starting the fundraiser at 7 p.m. Eastern, or possibly earlier with the appropriate. Oh yeah, you can absolutely do that if you want to. I
we
just
could start
can't
earlier.
start before. I just can't start before 9 p.m. Eastern. Well, I mean, I could start at
you
like
could start it.
8:30, but yeah. If you want to do 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, then absolutely, we're cool with that. We'll stretch it out in any direction you guys want to go.
Yeah, I was thinking like if more people wanted to stream like earlier in the evening, I think we could definitely extend, because we have Saturday pretty much full. So if we extend it earlier into Friday, we could accommodate more streamers as well.
I love you, Ox. You're so funny. Yeah, no, not that kind of taco, buddy. That's after the stream.
Yeah, please don't do
Where
that
the
on
kid
stream.
the kid Hay is at home, where I am not, because I am at my girlfriend's house. So
Kite.
the Kite.
Aww.
Actually, there's two. It's Kite squared.
Oh, there's Phoebe starting to edit.
Yeah,
Phoebe's on top of it. Phoebe's on top of it.
Oh, hey Ben, send me that schedule again, because I don't know. I can't find it right now. Could you email it
I'll
to
send
me
you
or
the
something?
link and you'll be able to access.
On Twitter, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to know. Let Dick.
Yeah,
know
I'll
what's
just send
going
it to
on.
you, because we're not sending this link to everybody, just the organizers. So I'll send it to you privately. Yeah.
Thank you. I just couldn't find it anywhere.
And then we're also still looking for people. If you want to donate crafty things for the auction, we're still taking those donation ideas as well. So just let us know.
We got a lot of time open in the middle of the night. Friday the 4th going into the 5th. So if any of you UK people want to stream, we have from 9 o'clock UK to 1500, 3 p.m. UK, is open. So
yeah,
we
Brits
have
and
5
Aussies
hours there to
take
fill,
the
except for
time when we're sleeping.
Phoebe's in the middle somewhere.
So yeah, I have inserted my breakfast stream, so you all got to watch me cook. You all got to watch me
Phoebe
cook a full English breakfast with hash browns and multiple types of blood pudding.
Yes, good.
And then if people want, they can also watch me eat it.
Maya, it is so easy to stream. It would blow your mind. It really is easy. You literally
if you have a camera and a mic and a computer,
you
and you
create
click a
an
button.
account. She already has a camera and a mic. You create an account and then hit create broadcast. And then you name it whatever you want, and you put the proper picture up, and then you choose a time and you go. And then at that time you go enter studio. That's it. It's so easy. Maya wants to know what kind of pudding, Phoebe.
Ben, I think you're the best person to describe what the pudding is. Because
black pudding. White. Are you gonna have white pudding too, or just black pudding?
Of course, don't be ridiculous.
Black
okay,
pudding, good. White pudding.
It's more like a sausage than it is like a dessert pudding. So it's like,
see, when you say pudding, it should be like a custardy type substance with some kind of yummy sweet flavor to it. Not something that's
no, pudding doesn't have to be
sausage.
sweet. It's just stuff mixed together, right?
Pudding literally means
I can take it.
Oh wow, what is the definition of pudding?
Yeah, I'm done.
Hang on.
Thank you, babe. Then the mic fills the chat.
So it is any dish which is made with suet and or flour.
Oh, there you go. So pudding is based on the addition of flour, pretty much.
Or suet.
Maya, you come on live streams all the time. Your camera's fine. Your mic's always fine. It's going to be fine.
Catnip, can I get a favor from you?
We're going to get Maya live
the name
streaming.
Of your
That's
channel,
what we're gonna do.
please.
Huh?
Crazy Catnip. Oh,
Catnip, can you
I
drop the
can
name
I
of your
can show
channel?
Catnip's
Oh.
link.
Yeah.
Unless Catnip does it first.
Hey, Dave, what's going to be on my plate will be baked beans, mushrooms, tomatoes, fried bread, 3 different types of egg. There will be black and white pudding. There will be hash browns, and there will be other things as well, which are available that you may not have expected to be on this. I might incorporate some things from an Ulster fry as well. There will definitely be bacon. There will definitely be sausages. There may be other meat products on there as well. Hey, look, this is a tie-in. I do have to say, this is a tie-in with a certain medical myths series that has been going on.
Yes.
So Ox said the main ingredients are pork blood, fat, oats, and barley. Ingredients generally used: mint, thyme, marjoram, and spices.
I hope you're putting spices in your black pudding.
God,
That's
I want to go to
bland.
the UK and eat some blood pudding.
What I will
Fine.
say is that I will be buying this shop board. I will not be making the black pudding.
Oh yeah, no, it's a pain in the butt to make, I bet.
It is an absolute arse.
Maya, everybody's nervous the same time. The first time, I was
Yep.
like pissing my pants for a month.
Get like the best thing you can do for your first ever one. Get a co-host that has done it before, and
I'll do
then
it.
you don't have to worry about it because if anything happens, they can step in and like help you fix stuff.
I'll do it, Maya. I'll help you.
I'll
I'll help you set it all up, and then I'll duck out, and you don't have to tell anybody some white dude was there.
I tell you the scariest thing that I did that was made slightly easier was because of the person who was interviewing me. That was the first time I was on a stream. I was being interviewed by a man named Ed, and he was fantastic because he knew it was my first time and he put me at ease. And the first time I hosted a stream on my own, a certain, I don't know who he was now, came on stream and was fantastic as well. Not sure who this trainee doctor was that I managed to pick up in the car park, but I found a trainee doctor to come on. But
sometimes that happens.
You know, it'd be a great show. Just reading Ox's comment. A stream comparing a UK breakfast to an American breakfast.
Do you want this in the same room where you then try them out?
No, you're just making them because
you're not going to make our food right, so we can't have you do it.
No, not me make it your food. You make your food. I make my
in the
food,
same
and then we
room.
do it.
She's saying.
Right, but we can't do that.
But then
in the
we'd
same
have to
room.
travel. You have to travel
unless you're going to come to the U.S.
Well, I do plan on returning to the land of 50 stars on a flag and 3 spangles. 13 spangles, not 3. 13.
The spangles.
Do people not know why it's called the Star Spangled Banner? Because those bars are called spangles.
It's just a funny word.
It's true.
It's just a funny word.
But yeah, when I do go to either the states
Waffle House.
So when I do go to the states that are like on weird ass mountain time where these 2 men inhabit, I will probably have to make the blood puddings because I'm not sure they'd be available in America.
You can get them. It's just hard. You have to find a British store.
So when I come out, I will happily create a full English breakfast. I mean, I'm talking the works. 3 types of eggs, mushrooms, bacon, sausages, you name it, I'll make it. And if somebody wants to make the opposing American equivalent, they are more than welcome to.
Oh no, I ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna bring you to an IHOP. I'm just gonna take you to an IHOP.
Damn it! I've been to an IHOP before, so it's not a new experience. I need something that's a new experience.
Have you been to Waffle House? Have you been to Waffle House?
I've been to a Waffle House.
Okay, we'll take you to Waffle House. This is American.
Yeah. Tell me you want it smothered and covered.
Well, because here's the thing about Waffle House. It is the quintessential American breakfast food, but then also feels like you're like in a basically like in a crack motel and probably gonna get robbed at any minute. Like it's super sketchy, but also like it's the
What I would say
quintessential
about
like,
when I went to
American
the
breakfast
IHOP,
food. So.
when I went to the IHOP that I went to in Detroit, so I went to a Detroit IHOP, which was probably super sketchy to start with. What I will say is that it didn't feel like they'd actually used any flour in the pancakes. It didn't actually taste of like, a flour-based pancake. It tasted far too artificial to be a flour-based pancake.
Really?
Because it had
Man,
that
don't go to the
artificial...
Hey, everybody, don't go to the Michigan IHOPs. They suck.
Because it tasted like, you get that stuff in like a bottle that is like pre-made pancake mix that's ridiculously artificial, that doesn't actually contain any real...
That's how they keep it so damn cheap.
I can't remember what it's called.
I'll have you know, Ox, I grew up on Scrapple. And some fried Scrapple, when it's done right, is really fucking
So tell
good.
me you're not going to get robbed at gunpoint in this establishment, Phoebe.
What I would say is...
Oh, no, that's a nice one.
That is a
You
nice
have
one.
to
I got to
know.
find a less nice one. Here, let me find a
have to say
regular...
that
This is
this
a really
is-
nice Waffle House.
Hang on,
Show
stop 1
me
second.
one that's in the hood.
Go
and
back
then
to
we'll
that
talk.
picture, please. Go back to that picture, please.
No, I got to find a better,
No,
like
no,
a
I
more
need to-
accurate picture of Waffle
I
House.
need to do something with that picture that neither of you two were doing, so please go back to that picture.
No, I need to.
The reason that I need
No.
to do that is I need to engage in fair use with that picture. I need to make it transformative.
We did. We talked
No,
over it.
No, you didn't. You just gave a picture of Waffle House. You didn't actually talk about the picture.
Same, Ox, but Scrapple is freaking good. My mom used to make that. Don't ask me
This
how
was
she
a
made
free
it. I
image
have
to
no
start
idea.
with, but there you go.
Do you know how to make Scrapple?
No.
What the
Me either.
fucking else? Scrapple. What in this green earth is Scrapple?
Well, I know there's some cornmeal in it, and there's various pieces of meat. I don't know what kind. Ox, give us your Scrapple recipe. I know Ox has one. It's been a long time
All of
since
these
I've
are
had
really-
Scrapple. It's been like 38 years. Since I've
I
had
can't find a good sketchy picture of Waffle House. Like they're all like the really nice Waffle Houses.
At least with my mom, like when she made Scrapple, it was because we just slaughtered an animal and we had little leftover bits of meat, and she would use that and make the Scrapple. Liver? No, we didn't have any liver in ours, bro. What the fuck are you making Scrapple out of? No liver. No.
Hey, student Dr. Ben, check the private chat.
There you go, Ben. He said the worst Waffle House is 1020 Oak Mountain Park Road, Pelham, Alabama. Wait a minute. Pelham, Alabama. Pelham. I think I've
Okay,
been
I'm
through
gonna
there.
search for Waffle House, Alabama. That's what.
This
I mean,
has
this
to be
one-
hands down the
in the
worst
private
Waffle
chat
House
right
in the
now.
entire United States of America.
I checked the private chat.
Did
yeah,
you check?
well,
I
I
haven't
think
clicked
ours
the
was
link.
liver.
I did not click the
I have
link
an
yet,
aversion
though.
to liver. Like it makes me vomit. I would have known.
I
if
love
there was
liver.
in it.
Now,
That's-
liver
I mean,
braised
that's-
correctly is wonderful. What you need to do
That is a
to make the
picture.
perfect. What you need to do to make the perfect liver is you need to
Not
take
my
your liver
mom's Scrapple
whole.
Ox.
You take your liver whole, and then you need. Look at this. I mean,
There you
whoever took that
go.
photograph must have
We
been
are
in a
open.
specific position.
That's a Waffle House.
I have to question how the photographer managed to get this photograph without going, what the fuck did I do in my life to get to this position? Because you just have to notice that the picture is really well taken. And they must have gone, shit, this camera is worth more than the Waffle House.
You know,
This
I'm trying
is
to
a
decide
Waffle
if the
House, yeah.
truck is still inside the window or not. Like it just drove right into the building. Hey, I'll have
Yeah.
you guys know that happened to me twice. That happened at two different places in Florida. There was a Subway and a 7-Eleven in Florida, and an old person just drove right over. They went to hit the brake and they hit the gas, and they drove over the curb and went right through the fucking front of the building. Now, mind you, this is back before they yanked old people's licenses away for being like demented and driving around. The funny thing about it is the Subway, it happened within a week of me quitting because the manager was being a jerk and wouldn't let me talk to him. And I was pregnant at the time. And I didn't want to blab to the whole world that I was pregnant because I was really embarrassed by it because I had been raped. Anyway, so I kept saying to him, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. I'm sick. I need to talk to you. And he kept going and blowing me off for like 4 or 5 days. In the meantime, I'm working at Subway and puking in the mop sink because I'm around this food and I'm freaking pregnant and nauseous. And so he just kept ignoring me. So I said, fuck you. I'm closing the store. And he goes, you can't do that. And I said, watch me, motherfucker. So I closed up the whole thing. I just covered up the food with plastic and walked out the door and dropped the key in the lockbox and never went back. And 4 or 5 days later, a car drove into that Subway. So then I was working at 7-Eleven. I'm pregnant at this point, like largely pregnant, like, 7, 8 months, about 7 months pregnant, obvious. And the guy that worked there was hitting on me, and the manager liked that guy, and she fired me for no reason. She fired me, and I found out later that she was trying to get with this guy that was flirting with me that I wanted nothing to do with. So she fired me. And then about within a week later, a car drove through the front of the 7-Eleven. So I decided that any boss that fucks with me gets a car inside their building. So go ahead.
I've only ever been to a 7-Eleven once in my life. Well, I've only ever been to a 7-Eleven in one country in my life. And I will give the people on this panel 3 guesses as to the country that I was in that I went to a 7-Eleven.
Worse, Maya, piss off a pregnant man. See how that goes for you.
Depends on what you found in the 7-Eleven.
So it was just a standard 7-Eleven.
Okay, define standard 7-Eleven, because that's different in different countries. So
it had local produce, it had regular produce, and it had, the standard commercial produce. It's a convenience store, damn it. So
yeah, but American 7-Elevens are like the only like produce you're finding is like a hot dog and some taquitos. So
I found things that were
if you find anything in a 7-Eleven that's produce that's outside of the little fruit baskets that has like 2 old apples and some brown ass bananas in it, then apparently you went to a 7-Eleven that is not in the US, because that's what they all look like.
So there was none of that in this 7-Eleven that I went to, but there were a lot of how can I say this?
You're fine,
candies and confectionaries that were in packets, not as in like silver foil and things.
You're not making this any easier. Because 7-Elevens are different, like in different countries. Like Japanese 7-Elevens are like, I don't know. From what I've seen of them, they're like really, really nice places to go. And the US 7-Elevens are like, did you murder somebody in the bathroom?
Let's put it this way:
right,
this 7-Eleven that I went to, it's not somewhere that you would choose to go to unless you were running out of options, shall we say.
So the United States.
No, it was not the United States. It was not the United States. It was Thailand.
I'd love to compare a Thai 7-Eleven with a US 7-Eleven. Because US 7-Elevens are surprisingly awful. Yeah, I think we'd still lose. Absolutely.
We'd still lose. You know what I noticed here? There are no 7-Elevens here. Which I like. So, a funny, true story that 7-Eleven, does anybody know how 7-Eleven got their name?
It was the opening times.
It was the opening and closing time originally. They were open at 7 a.m. and closed at 11 p.m. So back when I was 2 years old, my mother wakes up my dad on a Saturday and says, go down to 7-Eleven, I need some cigarettes. And my dad runs down. Mind you, it's 5:30 in the morning, right? So he goes down to 7-Eleven and he sits in his car and takes a nap for like an hour and a half waiting for them to open. Comes back with the cartons of cigarettes, hands it to my mom. She looks at the carton, puts it on the top of the fridge, went down and got hypnotized to think she was allergic to cigarettes and never smoked again a day in her life. She was like, what the fuck? I just made my husband get out of bed an hour and a half early and go down to get cigarettes that I really don't need. So she quit smoking. Yeah.
See, all of these pictures of 7-Eleven are obviously like staged because I've never seen a 7-Eleven look anywhere
Does it look
near as
clean and
clean
neat?
as those pictures.
No.
Yeah.
There's like
Never
two I've
that.
seen in the US that are pretty clean, and that was years ago. I'm sure they're not.
No, these are obviously staged. Obviously
Yes,
staged
Ox.
pictures.
7-Elevens are that old, and that was actually in Virginia Beach, Virginia. That happened.
So there used to be 7-Elevens in the UK, but they got scrapped in the mid-90s because nobody was going to them.
Yeah, well, that could have happened here, but we didn't get that lucky.
Yeah.
Well, 7-Elevens were all like individual franchises like McDonald's.
Yeah.
I think a lot of them are.
But
Well,
what
you guys.
I would like to say this before we sign off.
Yeah.
All the best fucking luck to you, Ben. Not that you need luck because you've got the skills, but I know that you're going to need some love and some support over the next
And
couple of weeks.
caffeine.
Not only
Please
caffeine.
send me monsters.
If you guys really love
Not
Ben,
just
you'll send him monsters in large steaks
Yes.
that are already cooked to medium rare.
Yeah.
What about rocket
Yeah.
fuel, Ben? Would you like some rocket fuel coffee?
I would take that. I would take that.
You might get some rocket fuel coffee if you're not careful.
Okay.
But
I
here's
won't
the
be
thing.
mad.
I do need a street address, you know. Street address might help.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that on air, but we can
No.
talk afterwards.
You know what?
Don't
Just
talk
wake
to
up
me.
in the morning and stick a needle in your arm. Give yourself some normalsaline, and
Oh, massive.
Normal
It'll get you going.
sailing.
I told you a story, right, Ben? About
You
my
did, yeah.
ex-paramedic.
So,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
She would-
Testosterone
the
now.
guys, the drug seekers would get in the back of the ambulance. They'd be like, "Oh man, like, oh, my leg hurts, or my chest hurts, my arm hurts so bad. Oh," and they'd be like, "Oh, can you get me any of that dilly Dodd?" This is in Indianapolis, Indiana, right? She's like, "It's fucking Dilaudid, you idiots." She's like, "Oh man, I got something better than that. I got some new shit." And they're like, "What, man? What?" She's like, "Normalsaline." And they're like, "Yeah, man, all right." And she'd put in a needle and give them some. And they'd be like, oh man, that's some good shit.
Normalsaline.
Normalsaline.
I love that so much. Anyway, I think we're trying to wrap up.
Best
this
thing that
stream.
Amy ever did in her life. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we are gonna wrap it up. It's gonna be a long week. So everybody in the chat, I appreciate you guys coming and appreciate the humor and the advocacy and the love and all that crazy, mushy shit that I always appreciate from you guys. Phoebe, thanks for coming, Phoebe.
I'm always
I
gonna
appreciate
turn up
you.
if someone sends me a link.
Okay, well, that's what's going to happen then. We'll keep sending you links. You'll keep showing up. Ben,
And you'll
appreciate
speak
you,
good.
buddy.
And you'll speak good.
And I'll speak good any minute now. So you know the deal. I love all of you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. And most of all, and please most of all, have some peace in your life.